So last week, I went to jail. Except this time, I walked through the front doors, and I went in by my choice, whereas last time I didn't have the option. Today we're going to get into something that's starting to develop that I think is very important, and I wanted to share it with everyone. I think it's something that we can all take a close look at, and there's always something to be learned from every situation. So today we're going to discuss why I went to jail last week and how I was able to walk back out. So last week I was in the Adams County Jail. The jail staff, the sheriff, jail commander Sergeant Parker, jail commander Alex, Sheriff Mayhor, very graciously have granted me access. And I don't take that lightly. That's something that's extremely important. And it's something that has to be looked at with the respect that it deserves. And what that simply means is I walked in this time with their permission and with their consent and with a purpose. Last time that I was taking that walk, it wasn't in the Adams County Jail, but jail in general. Completely different story. Walking in with a purpose, even if you're going in as an inmate, is very, very important. And that's something that a lot of people neglect. And what we're trying to connect through Behind Bars Blueprint and Project Connect out of Decatur, Indiana, and with the gracious allowance of the Adams County law enforcement, we're trying to instill that purpose in everyone that's in there. And it was very eye-opening for me because we walk in, the jail's extremely clean. Not that, most jails aren't, but this one was just immaculate. You could tell they took pride in it. And there was a lot of order and structure going on there, which is very important. The staff, very polite, very friendly, doing their job, but doing so with, again, a sense of purpose. All of that combines, all of those consistencies multiply, they add up, and that's what's very important about what we're trying to accomplish there. I walked into the programs unit, and that's where, for the first time, I saw the men that I'll be working with, the men that Project Connect's already been working with. And I've seen the look in a lot of their eyes many, many times. And the looks vary, but they're all the same, if that makes sense. It's, there's this look of hope, but also maybe a little bit of apprehension, maybe a little bit of, who is this guy, which I get, that's completely fair. But there's the inmate that holds themselves one way, and there's the inmate that holds himself in another. And these guys, and I met several, these guys were different. These guys, you could see like, hey, this is a trip they're tired of making. This is a record they're tired of playing. And it's one of those things where if you give them the right tools, and I think that's what's going on here, and that's what we're going to continue to focus on, things start to open up, opportunities start to open up, decision-making begins to change, and perspectives begin to change. And that's what's really important. That's what we're trying to accomplish, not just within an incarceration setting, but just with our lives in general, or we should be. And if we're not, we need to ask ourselves why. So when I walked into that unit, I looked, again, like I said, I looked at every single one of the men in that unit. I looked at them all directly in the eye, every one of them. Not as a challenge, obviously, but more of a, I'll be honest, is this going to make a difference? Am I going to make a difference? Are they going to make a difference? Are we going to make a difference together? You go in with good intentions, like a lot of things in life. And, there's always that doubt sometimes that creeps into the back of your mind. Is this going to be beneficial? Is this really going to help? Because that's what we're there for. That's what we're trying to do. B3 was intentionally designed not to be dependent on, maybe a charismatic facilitator or, a single leader of a group or a church, anything like that. It was designed to be implemented individually if it needs to be, or it could be put together as a group session, but it doesn't depend on one person. It can actually be carried across several platforms. It can survive. If you've got a facilitator leading a group and that facilitator moves on, then another one can step right in their place. And then your picking up exactly where you left off. It's not one of those things where once the leader of the group, for whatever reason, is no longer present, it stops. It's continuous all the way through. So, if you're a facility, detention center, a church, a nonprofit, if you're looking for something that works, if you're looking for something that provides structure, that is not, and again, we don't call it a program. It's a system that's put in place because it's something that really doesn't end. What is taught here is implemented throughout your lifetime. And again, wherever you're at in the legal process, there is a spot to start right from that exact point and move forward. And then once you've completed these workbooks, once you've completed these sessions, you've got them as reference guides. I would encourage you to check out what we're doing at BehindBarsBlueprint.com. You can email me at www.BehindBarsBlueprint.com. Our email address is there. That's just BehindBarsBlueprint@gmail.com. And all the contact information is there as well as testimonials. People that have actually used this, have come through and have been successful. So again, feel free to check us out. Feel free to send questions, comments. If you don't mind, like and subscribe. That obviously helps the channel quite a bit. And we'd appreciate it. We appreciate your help helping us reach people that are in need, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So until next time, keep the faith, stay strong.